The story of 08th MS Team takes place in the jungles of Southeast Asia during the One-Year War. A young ensign named Shiro Amada arrives in Southeast Asia from space to lead the Federation's 08th MS Team against the Zeon forces in the area. Before arriving to Earth, Shiro encounters a young female Zeon pilot named Aina Sahalin, and the two will develop a romantic interest in each other throughout the story. It was discovered that the Zeon forces are testing a powerful new mobile armor on Earth that could potentially change the tide of the war, and the 08th MS Team must do everything they can to stop the mobile armor, while Shiro struggles to decide where his loyalties lie between the Earth Federation or his love for Aina. The 08th MS Team is hailed to be one of the best Gundam series in the franchise, as well as the best OVA. Does it live up to its reputation? Well, that's what we're about to find out. The series is probably the most realistic Gundam series of all. Not saying that the other shows aren't realistic, but the setting combined with the guerrilla warfare tactics and battle strategies deployed by both sides in the story makes this series feel like it takes place in a modern day war rather than a futuristic war. The story is pretty well paced and provides us an entertaining yet interesting look on how the soldiers on the front lines are affected by the war. The characters are pretty good for the most part, and each of the characters has their own personal demons and problems that they must deal with as the events around them unfold. Examples would be Sanders believing he has bad luck, or Karen doubting Shiro as the team's commander. Shiro and Aina's relationship plays a huge role in the story, and we definitely see how the two struggle to choose between their feelings for each other or their loyalty for their respective sides. My complaint about the Romeo and Juliet aspect of the romance is that I feel it's rather cliché and predictable. But fortunately, it isn't shoved down our throats as much as you would think compared to other shows in the franchise. The other major complaint I have is the final episode, which I felt was extremely lackluster and disappointing, as there are a lot of questions that are left unanswered, and we don't get to see what happened to most of the cast after the war, aside from Shiro and Aina. Other than that, I feel that the 08th MS Team provides us with an entertaining story that's really realistic, and it does a good job showing us the war through the eyes of a soldier. The art and animation is simply phenomenal. The battles the OVA brings us are a spectacle to watch, and the character designs have a lot of emotion and smoothness. The mobile suit designs are really cool. The ground combat Gundam is similar in design to its RX-78 precursor, but bulkier, and the Zeon mobile suits like the Guf Custom are really intimidating. All in all, the visuals are amazing, in some cases being a bit better than Stardust Memory. The music is good as always. The opening theme, Shine in the Storm, is one of my favorite songs in Gundam, as well as the ending theme, 10 Years After. The Seiyuu cast did a very good job voicing the characters, and as always, we have familiar faces. Shiro is voiced by Nobuyuki Hiyama, who is known for voicing characters like Hai from Yu Yu Hakusho, Guy from Gal Gaigar, Beardo from Gurren Lagann, Link from Zelda, and so on and so forth. Mami Koyama voices Karen, and she previously voiced Cecilia in the original series, as well as Kei from Akira. Keiji Fujiwara voices Elador, and he would go on to voice Aliel Sanchez from Gundam 00 and Savant Voltified from Black Cat. The dub is very good, and I honestly like it a bit better than the Japanese version. Shiro is voiced by Steve Staley. I already mentioned his contribution in Gundam in F91, and he does an excellent job here. Unfortunately, once again, I do not recognize anyone else noticeable in the dub. Now, don't get me wrong folks, I'm not a weeaboo. I usually try to find anyone noticeable in a dub, and Gundam shows just seem to get the bad end of the stick. Well, at least the ones in Universal Century. Other than that, the anime is enjoyable in both languages. The 08th MS Team definitely proved itself worthy as a great OVA series in Gundam. Is it the best though? Well, that would be debatable. The ending is bad to me, and the star-crossed lovers plot between Shiro and Aina is rather typical. Despite that, it does give us a great-sized story that shows us the effects war has on frontline soldiers. If you want to see a Gundam series where cool military strategies are employed, and have normal people that aren't new types kicking ass in mobile suits, then 08th MS Team is right at your fingertips. Final score, 8 out of 10.